The next scheduling scheme in disk scheduling mechanisms is called a look scheduling technique or a scheme. Now this is similar to your scan scheduling algorithm where we know that in scan scheduling the read write arm will be reaching the end of the disk, correct? Either of the end, either it may be to the left end of the disk or to the right end of the disk. That is in scan. But in look scheduling algorithm, so here the read write arm will never reach the end of the disk. Either it may be towards the left or it may be towards the right. So that's what look scheduling algorithm says. Okay, so here is an example of that problem. So we have a set of blocks over here, 98, 183, 37, 122 and so on, etc. up to 67. So these are all the blocks which the read write pointer has to provide service by accessing these blocks. Okay, and initially the read write pointer is at block number 53. So this is the initial arrangement. So this is a read write pointer at 53rd block. Okay, now we will assume that the read write pointer is moving towards the right side. Okay, now what are all the blocks which come at right side is 65, 67, 98, 122, 124 and 183. So all these blocks are serviced by the read write pointer. Okay, and you can observe here the read write pointer has not reached the end of the file. So that is what we call it as look scheduling technique. It will never reach the end of the disk. So once it has serviced the last block of this side, that is right side, so it will start to return back to the other side of the disk like this. Okay, so when it is moving to the other side of the disk, we have two blocks which will come in between. Okay, so that is block number 37 and block number 14. So those two will be get serviced by the read write pointer during the return. So that's what look scheduling algorithm says. And the calculation part will remain same. How we did the calculation of number of cylinders, in the same manner we will try to do the calculations by counting distance from 53 to 65, what is the distance, 65 to 67, what is the distance, like that we will count and calculate how many cylinder movements are made in look scheduling technique. Okay, the last one in disk scheduling is C look scheduling technique. C look is nothing but circular look scheduling technique. Okay, now this is similar to your C scan scheduling technique. Okay, like this, C scan scheduling technique. So you can observe here. Okay, so C scan scheduling technique, it will what it will do, it will read the blocks either to the left side or to the right side. Okay, all the blocks will be serviced and it will return from one end of the disk to other end of the disk. While returning, it will not provide any service for that particular block. That's what C scan says. The same thing is applied for the C look scheduling algorithm also. So in C look scheduling algorithm, so here the read write pointer will start providing the service either to the left side or to the right side. Okay, but it will never reach the end of the disk, either to the right side or to the left side. Okay, but in C scan it will reach the end of the disk. That is the only difference between this and the C look scheduling technique. Okay, so here is an example. So list of blocks are given here and these blocks will be serviced by the read write pointer and it is initially at 53rd block. Okay, so it is the initial position of read write block and we will assume that our read write pointer will start to provide service towards the right side of the disk first. So these are all the blocks which comes in right side of the block. So all these blocks are serviced by the read write pointer, but it will never reach the end of the disk. Okay, so once it reached the last block, that is 183, it will start to move to the other end of the disk like this. Okay, so when it is starting to move to the other end of the disk, you can observe that. So we come across block number 37, correct? Next we come across block number 14. Okay, block number 14 is the last block. After that you will not going to get any other blocks. Okay, but the difference between C look scheduling and your normal look scheduling technique is, in look scheduling technique, okay, so here is a look scheduling technique. So during its return from one end of the disk to other end of the disk, what are all the blocks which will come in between, okay, those will be serviced. First 37 will be serviced, next 14. But here in C look scheduling technique, so when it is making a return, okay, so you will going to get a block 37, but it will not be serviced first. It will move to the last block of one end of the disk. The last block is 14, correct? So it will be serviced first. After that it will be servicing the next block, that is 37. So that's how C look scheduling algorithm will going to work, and the calculation will remain same. So it will after doing all these calculations, okay, we will come across that 322 cylinders will be movement will be made anta. So that ends all the disk scheduling technique.